What's up everyone? Today guys, I'll be dropping a fire tank tutorial for beginners. If you're new to DCUO online or you're a returning player, this video definitely gonna help you. I also have two other tutorials for beginners on my channel. Check out the one for rage tanking and also check out the one for tamuk tanking. I'll leave that in the end screen video. So with that being said, let's jump right into it and I'll explain everything about fire tanking. Alright guys, before I move on and talk about the loadouts and spec, I just want to talk about the benefits we get in tank roll and I want you guys to grasp a little understanding about the fire soul mechanic also, which is very important. So let's get into it here. We get 50% health increase while we in tank roll. If we in DPS roll, we're not going to get this obviously. And we also get that 50% incoming healing while not blocking. So when you're not blocking, you're going to get that extra healing. Fire tanks get a lot of health and they get the most incoming healing based on all the tanks. Rage and fire tanks get the most health, just want to make that clear, and fire gets the most incoming healing out of all the tank powers that exist so far. I continue on here. We got tree perception, that's not really important. I want to talk about you gain fire soul here, and then we have the last one here. Superpowers gain taunt, ability score 30% less power. So those are not really that important. I just want to talk about the main one here, which is fire soul. Let's go down here and talk about it here. So you gain 35% defense while not blocking as you directly damage burning enemies. This bonus increases up to a maximum of plus 60% defense while not blocking. In my past videos, I demonstrate this, but I'm going to do it again. And for all those who are seeing this video for the first time, they'll understand what I'm talking about. So let me demonstrate the fire soul mechanic here real quick for you guys. Alright guys, so this is my base defense here, 298,362. That's my base defense. And I could buff this fence a little bit when I do some attacks while my enemies are burning. It could be either using my powers or using my weapon. And I'll demonstrate this and show you guys here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use engulf. It's gonna burn these enemies. That way I can activate get the fire soul mechanic. Get it going here. Show you guys here. So take a look at my defense here real quick again. 298,362. I'm gonna just spam this move here. Just to show my defense increase. Okay, 353,614. That's my. I guess how much I get the max I could get at the moment. Just gotta wait to see it drop back down there. So I get a little bit defense, just by putting enemies, by burning enemies and constantly attacking them, and I could get max out to 353 as you guys saw there. I'll also do it by using my weapons here. So let me just use my powers here real quick and then use my weapon. Gotta make sure they are burning. See the fire on them there. Yeah, and we could only get this by not blocking. So definitely if you're not blocking, you cannot even do any weapon attacks or powers because you're blocking. So let me show you here real quick here. 353,614 defense. I guess it's the max defense I can get at the moment. So let me go back to the fire soul mechanic here real quick. So again, 35% defense while not blocking as you directly damage burning enemies. So you have to put them on burning. As I said before, you have to be burning enemies, adds bosses, so on. And you get up to a maximum of 60% defense while not blocking when you do your attacks and so on. So you're gonna stack and get a max of 60% defense. You can't cross that, that's the cap right there. That's the max I was able to get, as you guys saw there. 360 something it was. Double check. Actually, it was 353,614. Yeah. So you get stack up to 353,000 defense. So it's not really much, but it's going to help us a little bit. Fire doesn't really get a lot of defense buff compared to rage and stuff, but they still get a little bit, which is going to help out. So yeah. So you guys understand that, that fire soul. So I'll be moving on here with the spec and so on. So So let me move on and show you guys here how to spec your skill points. Since it's a beginner's guide, I'm only going to be using 100 skill points. So I'm just going to put one skill point in my weapon tree. I'm not going to get the combos because, I have to spend my skill points very wisely. And yeah. So one skill point in my weapon tree, you could use whatever weapon you want to. Some weapons I recommend you could use like brawling, shield, rifle. Those are very good weapons to use. Very good for counting and launching bosses and so on. I like the one-handed because you can launch very far distances. You could be very far and you can launch like max range. You can launch. Let me show you guys here real quick what I'm talking about here. So, say I'm over here, all the way here. Max range. Once you're max range and you're able to target, this is max range here. Once it's red. If it's grayed out, it's not max range. This is max range here. So you can launch directly into whatever you targeting. You could launch into a bunch of ads and so on. It's very fast. That's why I like it. So we're moving on here to the super speed tree for the spec. I'm going to be getting speed force, of course. Whatever movement you have, flight, acrobatics, make sure you get that so you'll be able to move faster. And I'm just going to get here dash attack here just to move on here. To get my innates. Make sure you get all your innates. These are pretty self-explanatory, so you can just read up on it, recovering power and breakout and so on. Yeah, 10% impulse resistance and so on. Yes, basic stuff, You can just read up on it. I don't want to go too much detail into this. Alright, we're going to the iconic powers here. I am going to be getting Mesmer and Lasso. That's going to be my taunt and pull. As you can see there, taunt is single target to attack you instead of others. And it's also a pull there. Last one enemy and pull them toward you, grounding, stunning, and causing damage over time. And I'm going to get Highlight Shield, and for the loadout, we need Fire Emblem Bloom, because we're going to be using EOG artifact. I'll get to that soon. So these are the 3 powers here that you need. So 3 skill points in this here. So moving on to the stat points here, we're going to get 1 skill point in Focus Hybrid. That's the middle one. The reason why we're getting that is going to give us some extra bonuses here. Plus 10% might, plus 5% dominance, plus 5% restoration, and 5% vitalization. The dominance and restoration is going to be very helpful for the fire build because fire does a lot of healing based on how much dominance you have and how much restoration you have. Also is good for the shield, helping with the shield strength. So let me just show you this real quick before I move on here. That way you guys have an idea what I'm talking about. Alright, coming to dominance here. Dominance is combined with restoration to determine the potency of your healing and shield abilities. And the same thing for restoration, which is over here. Restoration is combined with dominance to determine the potency of healing and shield abilities, as you can see there. So, continuing here with the spec. As I said before, the restoration and dominance is going to be a key, going to play a vital role for your healing and shield abilities. But since we only have 100 skill points, I'll show you guys how to spec for this. Alright, so we continue on here. We're going to be getting 20 skill points in critical healing chance. Maxing it out. Fire does really good with critical healing chance, and also we're going to be maxing the critical healing magnitude. We're going to put in 40 in that. So we have 28 skill points remaining to use because we have to use only 100. So that 28, let me explain this very carefully. So we're going to start off with restoration first, right? We're going to dump 28 in restoration. Alright, so we have used 100 skill points there. That's what we're going to be using as a beginner here. When you get more skill points, listen to me very carefully. This is very important. The restoration is very important because it helps with the mystic symbol of the 7 artifact, which I'll come to a little bit. And it's also very important for fire, for healing with fire. get more heals and stuff, more bigger heals with how much restoration you have. So we have 28 in restoration here. When we get more skill points, right, we're gonna get it up to 100 skill points in restoration. The reason why you want to get 100 skill points in restoration is because you're gonna get the most amount you can get, which is 10%. 10% restoration. After you get 100 in restoration, you're gonna move on here to dominance and start working on dominance and get it to 100 in dominance also. So 100 in restoration and 100 in dominance when you get more skill points. As you start playing the DCUO online and getting more skill points, you're gonna adopt 100 in dominance. We'll start working on dominance. After 100 in dominance, then you put 100 in health. And after you get a lot of skill points, you go back to restoration and get more in restoration. The more restoration, the better. So that's how you're going to be specing your skill points. Starting off with restoration, get 100 in it. Then dominance, get 100 in that. Then health, you get 100 in that. You get the most amount of benefits. You're going to be getting 10%, which is the most you could get. The most amount you could get. But you can get more, but that's the most, you're getting based on how much skill points. The most amount percent you could get, basically. So 100, 100, 100. All right. So that's how we spec in our skill points here, right? We have everything for skill points. Alright guys, so let's talk about the white mods and artifacts that I'm going to be using here. So for the weapon socket here, we're using absorption adapter. That's going to give us a shield. Weapon attacks have a chance to activate the shield, reducing damage by 75% on damage until damage equal to 30% of your health to be prevented. This effect may occur every 30 seconds. So let me show you guys here real quick what I'm talking about. So that's the shield here guys. I know that I showed this on a lot of my other past tank videos, but I'm showing it again. This is the sheet here. If you're new to this is the sheet here. That's going to prevent some of the incoming damage, help mitigate some of the incoming damage. So when you're doing your weapon attacks and so on, it's going to help out. Moving on here, we're going to talk about the next socket here. We have Fortified Assault 5. This will increase our defense by an additional 10% while not blocking. So when we're not blocking and we're doing our combos with our weapon and using our powers, we're going to get that extra defense boost, which is going to help out a little bit. Our back here we have breakout regeneration, gain health regeneration for 4 seconds after using the breakout ability. Since we're tanking and we break out a lot, we're gonna get a little extra healing. Nothing too much, but it's gonna help out. Alright, for the chest here we have Hearty, increase your health by 5%. You're gonna get a little extra health increase on our base health, so it's gonna help out here. A little bit more beneficial to us. For the legs here, we got restorative flashpoint. Ignore that. That's for my battle tanking. For leg socket, we don't have anything that's gonna help out for regular tanking, so just ignore that one there. For the weak feet here, we have Tumbling Master. Your dodge roll is no longer vulnerable to interrupt. You may also tap the movement controls to cancel out the roll into a combo. So basically, you could dodge attacks from the bosses and odds very easily, and also you don't get interrupted. Let me show you how this works here real quick if you're new and you don't have any idea. So you're gonna block and just use the joystick or whatever you're using to move. That's Tumbling Master right here. Avoiding stuff. Also when you're doing this move, yeah, I'll show you guys here. You could also stun stuff. See I knocked the ad down. The sparring target, sorry. See? You could knock the ads down. So when you're tumbling master, it could help CC some of the ads also. And for the hand sucker, we can have max damage here, which I use for my fire battle tank. It doesn't really apply too much to the regular tanking, but it's gonna help out. You can do some extra damage, help with the DPSs, whatever little bit you can help out with, it's gonna help out. So, moving on here now, let me talk about the utility belt here with the supply drop. So supply drop here is our main one here. Personal dampening fields. If you're new to these units and you don't have a clue what this is about, I'll demonstrate that just now in a few. And we also have the community meters and the orbital. So these are the dampening fields. Use this when you don't have a shield on cooldown. When shield's on cooldown, you can use this. It breaks with 1 or 2 hits, but it can help out. And then you have the emitters, the standards. Could only standards, can't stand bosses, unfortunately. But yeah, this will help out, help out CC the ads, control the ads, and so on. So you take less damage. So let me jump into artifacts. Alright. Mystic symbol of the 7. Remember I said to spec into restoration? Let me read it here real quick. I'm going to briefly talk about it a little bit. I have a detailed video on this. You can check it out. I'll leave it in the end screen also so you guys can check it out. So, protection of the 7. The powers of the 7 bolden the user granting the following bonuses. When hit by an enemy, increases defense by 5% for each enemy within 5 yards, maximum 20%. So you can get some defense increase when the enemy hits you. Also, you can get a lot of healing receive. I can see increase healing received by 10%. I can see there. Regenerate a small amount of health based on restoration each time you're struck by an enemy. So the more restoration you have, you're going to increase your healing amount that you're getting back from the mystic symbol of the 7. I'm not going to really demonstrate this too much. If you guys want to see how this works, I have I'll leave a video with all the 9 tank artifacts where I tested all the 9 tank artifacts, and you guys can see exactly how this Mystic Symbol of the 7 works. You get a lot of healing from it based on how much restoration you have. And fire, unfortunately, benefits the most because you have to spec into restoration a lot. But yeah, fire benefits the most from spec into restoration from the Mystic Symbol of the 7 compared to the other tank powers because they don't really spec into restoration like that. The Mystic Symbol of the 7, you want to get this to rank 160 for you to get those benefits. Well, rank 160 is good. Now I'll talk about the markers of force here. This one you get to 120 just to get unshakable to proc, that unshakable. Yeah. Capable of blunting the strongest attacks, the markers put you into unshakable state for 5 seconds by attack damage with at least 30% of your health. Absorb 50% of incoming damage and reapplies over the next 5 seconds. Cooldown 40% when unshakable triggers. The fun abilities cooldowns are reset. Density, gemstone shield, immolation, redirecting with the word. So if you have it at 120, the unshakable will work. You'll be able to blunt the strongest attacks, and you will take full 100% damage. You absorb 50% of incoming damage, and it's not going to be like taking all the damage at once. It's going to be reapplied for the next 5 seconds, as you can see there. If you have it maxed out to 200, or you get at it resets those shields here. In this case, it would be immolation for fire there. And the manacles also help with the cooldowns of the shield. I can see a resolute here, all shield cooldowns are reduced by 10%. So you'll be able to cycle your shields a little more. And I'll get to that in a few when I come to the loadout. So that's it for the manacles. Moving on here now to the Eye of Gemini artifact. The Eye of Gemini artifact is still a good artifact. In my opinion, it's very good for fire tanking, especially when you're using the 2.5k supercharge like Fire Moon Bloom. When Fire Moon Bloom works with restoration, if you guys don't know. So if you spec into restoration, you get big heals, big numbers from Fire Moon Bloom. And I'll demonstrate this in a few also. So I'm gonna talk about the Eye of Gemini real quickly here for you guys. Talking about Caster Watch only here. So which is a supercharge. So using a supercharge combat attracts Caster Watch or Palace Gaze, right? For 6 seconds. Restores Tango Heater Road. Restores 2%, 3%, 6% health, and 0.5%, 1%, 3% supercharge every second for supercharge abilities, costing 2.5k, 5k, and 10k respectively. So I'm going to be talking about the 2.5k here because I'm only using a 2.5k supercharge for the bill. So I'll be getting 2% health recovery and 0.5% supercharge because they kind of nerfed the UG a little bit for the 2.5 keys. So that's what I'll be getting back. And maybe down here, Caster Watch also heals the players. That's a standing in Caster's Watch. And the players that are close to me will be getting the supercharged regeneration, not the players that are standing necessarily standing in in the green circle, which is the Caster's Watch circle. It's the players that are actually close to me. Just want to explain that here real quick. Get a little idea what it's about. If you guys want to see more about this Eye of Gemini artifact in detail, I have a old video that I talk about it a little bit, but a little bit changed with how the superchargers work. So, but you get a little idea of how the healing works from it. You can see, as you can see there. But you can go check out the video if you want. But I have to make an upcoming video on I have Gemini artifact since they made some changes on it. So yeah, guys. So that's about it there for the artifacts here, guys. Now I'll talk about the allies here real quick. All right. So you're a beginning player, right? You have the choice if you want to get all the cheap allies. You could get the cheap ones, or if you want to spend money, you can get the more expensive ones. Of course, you get the options here. If I really don't need allies, they could do you could do pretty good without allies, but allies gonna help out. It's gonna always help out having an extra, abilities. So Nubia, you could use Nubia, just buy Nubia and use it, put it as a combat ally, and you can use two media, which slams the ground to damage, push back, and potentially knock down nearby enemies. Shouting and running, crying to heal nearby group members for 10% of their maximum health. So basically, you're gonna get a little heal from it, and when you level it up, you're gonna obviously get a little more increase in heals. So it's gonna help out a little bit. It heals you and the group, it's gonna help out a little bit. But fire really don't need it because you heal so much already with fire. With the load, I'm gonna show you guys, you heal a lot with it. So, and if you want to get this ally, you could get it. If you don't want to get it, you could get the House of Legend, but it's a pretty cheap ally to get, and you can do some damage with it if you want to get that one. Let me equip it here real quick. So you get the House of Legend, but it's a rare ally. It doesn't cost a lot to level up, as I said before. The next ally you want to get is the Calculator bot. It's a good ally if you're using that Stack Overflow supportability here. That description is completely wrong. That hasn't changed yet. It's not heal for 10% income damage. It's basically healing basically how much health you have. Fire benefits from this a lot because they have a lot of health also. Just want to mention it. It's gonna help out with a little healing. If you want to use it, it's up to you. So that's it for support ally 1. I'll talk about the support ally 2 here. We have Tickle. It's gonna be a seasonal ally that you get during Halloween. Heals you 50% of your maximum health over time when performing a lunge attack. Unfortunately, you won't be able to get it right now, but you could wait and get it later on. Or you could use some of the legendary allies, or you could leave it blank. You don't really need the allies, as I said before, with fire. If you don't want to spend that money, you can do well without it. You could even tank elite content without it, because before allies even existed, I was already tanking all the elite content. Allies didn't really make a difference to me. Well, it helps out a little bit, but as a new player without skill points and stuff, it will definitely help you. So you can get this ally, get that pounce in playtime, the heal for 50%, I said before. Or if you don't want to get the calculator bot and you don't want to get the TKL ally and you want to get the legendary ones, you see the two I would recommend you to get. That's very good at the moment. So let me show you guys here. So the two allies that you could get here. The feature Lex Luthor, that's an option for another ally that you could use. We're going to be using that support ability there, Exabyte Overdrive, increase dominance, restoration, vitality, and defense by 15% for 15 seconds when your health is below 50% health. So when your health drops, you're going to get that increase in dominance, restoration, and defense, basically. So the Future Lex Luthor ally is one you could use, and it's very expensive to get. It's a legendary ally. It costs a lot to level up, a lot of catalysts, a lot of experience, and so on. If you want to spend some money or you want to farm and get that ally leveled, it's gonna take a little while, but you can get it. It's up to you. It's your preference, whatever. But I'm just giving you guys the cheapest, easiest ones to get at the moment since you're a beginner. So the other ally we could get here, if you want to spend some money, it's also a legendary ally. The Superman ally, we're gonna be using that support ability, inspire and breakout tank role. Using a good breakout ability gives your teammates a 35% damage reduction shield. It's for you and the group basically, and you would have to make some adjustments to the loadouts, which I will get to into in a few. But these allies are very costly to level up, and if you want to spend money, it's up to you, as I said before. But if you want to get the cheap allies, go ahead when using the two I said, the calculator and the tickle. Or you could leave the third support ally to blank for the moment. You don't really need it. So, yeah, so you have options, it's up to you. If you want to spend money, you want to grind, it's gonna cost a lot to level up these allies, the Superman and the Future Lex Luthor. They cost a lot. So that's it for the allies here. Let me get into the augments here real quick. Alright. So for those who do not know how to equip an augment, let me explain this. Last time on one of my, I think it was a Rage tank video or something. I think my Rage or the Atomic Tank video for beginners. Someone asked me how to equip the augments. This is how you equip it. So say you go to, see if I'm getting here. So you go to your inventory here. You're gonna scroll across to this icon here where you see like a guy is flexing his muscle there. That little icon there, it's yellow there on the top right hand side there. So you could use square to move the augment. So you go across this, you scroll across, and you click on this one here, move, and you can put in any adaptive augment you want here on the top here. If you want a battle tank and so on, as I said before. But you cannot put it in the original augments. You have to go to the original ones, which I'll show you guys here. So that's adaptive augments. See the section here, we have adaptive augments here, and we also have the section for original augments. For the origin here, we already have the dominating ones equipped. So you hit square and you're gonna put the dominating ones, which I already did. And if I wanted the battle tank, I hit square and put the red ones. Just showing you guys how to do it. Put back the dominating ones here. Yeah, so you guys have an idea how to do that. So these are the augments you're going to be using here, the origin dominating ones. Max them out if you can. Start working on them using experience, the exobytes that you get, and you'll be able to max them out. Salvage all your gear and stuff, and you'll be able to max these out eventually. Take a little time, but you eventually get it. And the dominating one gives us some extra bonuses in the current whatever episode you're in. For example, that's shock to the system. Yeah, we get 3% damage and health while in shock to the system content. That's the example there. That's the extra benefits we get from it. Go to this one here. You can see here we get some damage and health while in metal part 2 content. You can see. So whatever episode it applies to, we get the extra 3% dominance and health. So that's for the augments. Let's go straight into the loadout. For the loadout, you have immolation, which is going to be our main shield. Let me read it here real quick for you. Engulf yourself in flames, protecting you from damage for a short time. Nearby enemies that attack you will be burned, taking damage over time. So it's going to put enemies on fire, burning them. Burn enemy can run out to burn effects. Sanguinity increases shield value, however, shield absorbs 35% damage taken. So you're only mitigating 35%, basically, not mitigating all the damage. With fire, unfortunately, we don't have 100% mitigation shield. That's what it is, as compared to rage and so on. But they got 100% mitigation shield. And we have stoke flames here. It's going to be healing us also. Conjure rest of the flames, healing yourself over time. The intensity says nearby enemy damage them over time. Burns enemies, making them vulnerable to the burning effects. Tank roll, you don't really get a lot of damage from it, but you get more healing. Then we have highlight shield. We're going to be cycling this here with immolation. So when immolation is on cooldown, we're going to use highlight shield. So we always have a shield on us at most times, so we can mitigate most of that damage. Highlight shield is an iconic power and it mitigates 100% damage, and it's pretty good. You can use it with your healer. So if your healer is using a shield, if you have a healer shield on you already, don't use highlight shield. Wait till that shield is broken or it's on cooldown, and you can use your highlight shield just to work with the healer. Yeah, give you a little tip here. That way you always have shields on you at all times, which will help out a lot. And then we have engulf here. This is going to be your range pull. Can your target and nearby enemies causing a small explosion and pull at their feet, damage and pushing them towards you. So you're actually pulling them towards you. Burns enemy making them vulnerable to burning effects. So by burning enemies, this is gonna help out with fire soul, which I talk about in the beginning here. Talk a little bit about fire soul, so help them out with the fire soul here. And then we have backdraft. This is gonna be our 360 pull. It's gonna heal us and also CC the ads. And we have Pheromone Bloom here, which is going to be our supercharge. So 2.5k supercharge. And I'll demonstrate how these powers work. Alright, for the first power I'm going to be using is the first power on the loadout here, which is Immolation here. I'll show you guys here. Immolation, activate a shield here on me. Mitigating some of the damage, as you can see there. Those heals I'm getting is from my Mystic Sim of the 7. Because I didn't use any healing. So I was able to mitigate some of the damage and put the enemies on burn in there. Do it again here. So the enemies on burning, so that's going to help with the fire soul mechanic. Increase my defense while I attack. So I can see there's not mitigating 100% damage. We're still taking some damage, but we're not taking full damage, you know. And the Mystic is healing us. Take off the Mystic Sim of the 7 here, just to show you guys. It's not healing anymore. Alright. I'll leave it off, just to show the Stoke Flames. So take some damage here. Alright, Stoke Flames here. I'll show you guys here. Stoke Flame heal there, I can see there. That's how much you heal for there. Okay, the overstack flow was a calculator bot and Soak Flame heal there for 36,838. 37,412. 3,740. Stack overflow again is from calculator bot. It healed for 82,740. See, it's helping out a little bit there. Okay, so you guys got an idea there for the Stoke Flames. Let me show you. Let me pop that highlight Chi. Gonna mitigate 100% damage. Use the Stoke Flame to heal also. So the Stoke is gonna heal me while I have that highlight sheet active. I'll be able to heal 100%, most likely, see? 100% there. And we do have a lot of skill points, you know. We only have... How many skill points we have? Like... 100 skill points only. Spec. I see how much healing I was able to do. Alright, so... Engulf. This is going to be our pull here. Engulf. Show you guys here. Those enemies are far from me. I want to pull them close to me. Hit engulf like that. Put them on burning also. And then we have backdraft here. That's going to help us heal. By putting them with using engulf and backdraft, we're going to be there in double tick heal. See backdraft healing there? Twice instead of one time. Alright. So backdraft, you get, let's explain backdraft here real quick. With backdraft, you can get double ticks if you have enemies on burning. If you don't have them on burning, you get one tick only. So let me show this here real quick for you with you guys. To take some damage here, use backdraft. See? War Machine backdraft here, War Machine for 95,144. Right? However, if I use engulf and then I use backdraft, I got two heals here. 10,295 and 94 94,000, no, 9,000, yeah, 94,700. So you get double the heals when you use backdraft while enemies are on burning. Just want to make that very clear. That's why you need powers that inflict burning, such as immolation, stoke flames, and engulf. So you'll be doing more healing with backdraft. Now I'll be moving on to the supercharged pheromone bloom and show you guys how much that heal. So last I'll be demonstrating here the pheromone bloom, how really good this is for fire tanking, especially with fire tanking because you got a lot of incoming healing, and also when you spec and restoration, pheromone bloom do a lot of healing. So I'm gonna show it without the Eye of Gemini artifact and with the Eye of Gemini artifact. So before I use it, I'm going to show you guys here real quick here. I don't have any allies equipped. Don't have the calculator bot to help out with the healing. I don't have the T-kill here to also help out the healing when I launch enemies. So no allies here. Also for the artifacts here, I do not have any artifacts equipped to help with healing. No Mystic Symbol of the 7. Also no Eye of Gemini. I'm going to be testing the Pheromone Bloom without the Eye of Gemini to show how much healing it does. So let me take some good damage here. Alright, so you're about to die, the healer's not healing for whatever reason. Pop a sheet here real quick. Use Pheromone Bloom. You see, you did some good damage there. I mean, some good healing, sorry. I'll show you guys, see how much healing I did. Go back to it here. So it's healing over time, as you guys can see there. Alright, so let me go to it and read it here. War Machine Pheromone Bloom. Heal War Machine for 293,602. That was the burst heal we got from the Pheromone Bloom. That was a lot of healing we got there. And then we got the healing over time there, which was 7,026, 6,446. And then the critical heal there, the whole healing over time, 14,465. And you can see they're moving on there. That's a highlight shield there. Absorbing the damage, then critical healing there. So it's healing over time, you can see there. So it gives us one burst heal, the Pheromone Bloom. People don't understand this. It gives us one burst heal first, and then we get the healing time from the Pheromone Bloom. There's no Eye of Gemini equipped, so all this healing over time was from the Pheromone Bloom. Go back to it here real quick and show you guys here real quick. Although, as I say there, let loose a point blank explosion of pheromone laden plants, damaging your enemies and healing yourself over time, and you knock back and stun. You also stun the enemies when you do this, when you use pheromone bloom, sorry. And although they say healing over time, you get a burst heal from pheromone bloom, as I just demonstrate here. As I just showed you guys there, we got a burst heal. You see the first healing we got from pheromone bloom there? That was the burst heal we got from it. 293,602. And then we get all the healing over time. So that's pretty good. We got a lot of healing over time, plus that burst heal here from Pheromone Bloom without Eye of Gemini. That's why I think Pheromone Bloom is a very good supercharge. It's a very, you know, cheap supercharge too. It's only 2.5k. It's not like a 5k or a 10k supercharge. It's a 2.5k. So you see how much healing I got with the Pheromone Bloom here. I'm gonna test it now with the Eye of Gemini artifact. So let me put the Eye of Gemini artifact in there. You get even more healing because you're gonna get the Caster's Washer proc, which is gonna be healing over time, and you're gonna get supercharged regeneration for the Pheromone Bloom. So if I get the Pheromone Bloom to crit, I could get myself healed to 100% with the Eye of Gemini artifact equipped and the Pheromone Bloom with all the extra, with the burst heal I'm getting from the Pheromone Bloom itself and the healing it does over time and the Eye of Gemini healing it does over time also. I could get my health to 100%. So I'm about to be dead here. The healer is not healing for whatever reason. Hit that Pheromone Bloom. It heals us about half health there with the burst heal there, and then we got the healing over time taking place here with the Pheromone Bloom here and also with the Eye of Gemini. So let me show you guys that there real quick here. Alright, we can see there the second line here, Pheromone Heal War Machine for 311,971 there. That was the burst heal we got from it there. And then I popped the hard light shield there and mitigated some of the damage. And Pheromone Heal War Machine, that's the healing over time there, 7,217. And then Gemini, the green circle, the Gemini Vision here, Heal War Machine for 15,978. And Pheromone healing over time, critical heal war machine for 14,823, and also the Gemini is also healing there, 15,978, and so on. So the Gemini is healing plus the Pheromone healing over time is taking place there. So we're getting double heals there, and our health will most likely, go to full if it continues like that. So you guys got a little idea there how it works, and it really helps out a lot, you know, when you're in a situation where you're taking a lot of damage and the healer's not healing for whatever reason, you could heal yourself and be 100% full. Alright, so I'll talk a little bit about Mesmerize and Lasso if you don't understand it and you're new to DC. It's going to be a pull and a taunt, so say I want to pull one art away from the other tank, let's use this and pull it away, and it gets wrapped up, and I also grab the aggro of it. So you get an idea how it works there. It's very good for when you're using two tanks and you one tank want to have the aggro for certain adds or bosses. You could use it like that, or one tank could be tanking the boss and so on. Help separate the bosses from the adds. If the DPS got to work on the adds and they don't want to DPS the boss for whatever reason, you could use it like that and you know switch out the lasso and don't use engulf, just use lasso instead. You will still have other powers to like immolation to activate that PI, the burning effect there. So you can do that, do your attacks here and still get your defense to increase with the fire soul. Yeah, so your defense to decrease there. You can see the trans 95,715. Also the soak is gonna be healing you and putting the enemies, burning enemies. That's gonna help out with the fire soul also. Go to the skill points and show you guys. So we don't even have a lot of skill points yet. Look at our restoration here, 88,079. We don't have a lot of restoration use. We use 100 skill points, and we're still able to get a lot of healing from Pheromone Bloom. As I just showed you guys here, although we don't have a lot of restoration, and our moves are still healing us for a lot there. See, the soak frames are still healing over time there and giving some good heals. We're almost full health, and we do have a lot of restoration. So yeah, guys, I hope this video helped you guys get a little idea about fire tanking. Especially if you're a beginner, I hope it helped you guys. And if you're a returning player, this will definitely help you also because there are allies in the game now and artifacts and augments and so on compared to in the past. All these things didn't existed, but it will definitely help you guys. This is a good build. especially for beginners, because you don't need a lot of skill points for it, and you can do a lot of healing as a fire tank, and you could still do elite content also with this. I have tested this with 100 skill points only, and you could actually complete elite content with a good group, you know. But for beginners, this will definitely help you guys out. As I said before, give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Share it to your friends, especially those that are now starting to play DCUO online. And they want to learn to tank. Please share it to them. This will definitely help them. And you can also subscribe if you want to see more videos on my channel. So yeah, with that being said, I'm going to leave you guys here. You guys take care. And if you guys want to check out any of these videos here in the end screen, I have a rage tank tutorial for beginners, and I also have a atomic tank tutorial for beginners. You guys can check it out, and I'll have that artifact video also there, so you guys can check it out, have a little idea about the tank artifacts and so on, how they work. So yeah, that's about it. I'll see you guys in the video. You guys take care.